Next up, a fight between Rolando Cespedes and Dia Grant. Now, Ari, Dia Grant, no stranger to the Hard Knocks cage. Cespedes just making his second appearance here. What can we expect from this fight?
I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. I think Dia Grant's a very good athlete. I think he's a better athlete than Mark Marouz, who Cespedes beat last time we saw him here. And so I think Dia is going to move around a lot, and we're going to see really whether Rolando is the athlete that we think he is. If Rolando toys with Dia, then he's the real deal. I think stand up, it'll be a war. And I think if it goes to the ground, the guy who gets on top is going to win.
So there it is. Next up, we've got Dia Grant taking on Rolando Cespedes.
This school of Hard Knocks fight is a professional bout in the 150-pound division and is brought to you by Cruz Custom Homes. And now, let's meet the fighters.
So now we see Rolando Cespedes. We saw him at the last Hard Knocks event here in Calgary fighting against Mark Marouz. Yeah, and Dia Grant is a tough opponent. Of course, Dia has 15 fights on his professional career. By far, Rolando says the most experienced fighter he's ever fought. And so he's looking to come out and get the quick finish because, of course, Dia Grant, the later the fight goes on, that may continue to give him a more of an advantage when it comes to cage experience with 15 fights versus 5.
Well, and again, Dia Grant has been a resurgent Dia Grant. He started off, he was down, he's 2-5 and rattled off victory after victory after victory. And so you start 2-5, and when you're 7-8 now, that means you've gone 5-3 in your last fights. And Dia Grant doesn't fight easy guys.
And his opponent.
So now we will see Dia Grant, who we've seen in the Hard Knocks cage several times in the past, coming down to us out of dynamic mixed martial arts in Calgary. And both fighters weighing in at 150 pounds for this fight. And since we saw him last, he's had 2 other fights outside of the Hard Knocks cage with a win and a loss, and says he's looking to get his record back to 500, but that winning each individual fight is more important than having an overall record of above 500.
Well, and again, we talked about his not as good of start when it comes to his professional record, but is putting in an impressive streak here. As we look at the tail of the tape here, 29 years old, this Cespedes 26 for Dia Grant, so still very young with that many fights. Everything else is very much the same, but you look, 15 fights to 4 for Dia Grant, a big advantage when it comes to experience.
Yeah, and that should have said 3-2 with a professional record, as the last one coming off a loss for Rolando Cespedes. That one happening just a few weeks ago, but no injuries to speak of for Cespedes, no suspensions to worry about. But at the end of the day, Dia Grant, the far more experienced fighter. The last time we saw him here in the Hard Knocks cage, he suffered an elbow to the face from Aaron Gallant that cost him a win in that fight, as he ended up losing that fight to Aaron Gallant. Was not necessarily able to continue much after taking that elbow to the eye, and didn't break anything, but nevertheless still caused enough damage to cause him to lose that fight.
Well, and I am speaking with his coaches in the past. He said there's 2 Dia Grants. There's the Dia Grant who was not committed, and then there's scary Dia Grant. And I asked him when he came in today which Dia Grant was here. He said, I'm frightened.
If he's frightened, I don't know how to feel out here outside the cage. But before the official introductions, we'll head inside the cage to Jaden Ates.
And now, the official Hard Knocks fighter introductions. In the blue corner for Bill 360. He's 3-1 as a professional, 29 years old, and stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 149.5 pounds, fighting out of Fight Syndicate Team and Tompkins MMA from Las Vegas. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Rolando Cespedes. In the red corner for Pete the Plumber, the hero of plumbing. He's 7'8" as a professional, 25 years old, and stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 150 pounds, fighting out of Dynamic MMA from Calgary. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Dia Puff Daddy Grant! This bout will be contested under professional rules. The referee in charge of the Hard Knocks action is Mr. Adam Cheadle.